Strike. I know that Rothflow is still lurking in losers, but that's about it. So we'll see how that goes as we progress, but this will be Space Station Gaming LeoN versus ZD, Tri-State versus MDVA. It's a tale as old as time.
Yeah, for sure. And ZD is definitely no sleeper at all, having one of the most menacing Fox and Wolves in his pocket as well. And it seems like his third character pick is actually going to be Pit. This is not somebody that I've actually seen from him. LeoN, of course, has Bowser, has Banjo-Kazooie, and who's that last one?
You know, I would be dare to say it is a hero because that is what I saw on the character select screen. And, you know, he's a very volatile character, and that can bode really well for Squad Strike. And I love to see it happen, but it's the Banjo coming out doing some work. Oh my goodness, LeoN is off to a hot start. Oh my goodness. A 0 to death? No Pit, it never existed.
Yeah, LeoN quickly put away that pit as soon as it came on in. So ZD didn't even get a chance to show it off at all. This Banjo-Kazooie is here to play. LeoN is charging in, using up all of his Wonderlings, and he only got 5 left because, once again, this is Squad Strike. Going to be calling out that jump really, really effectively, but a rising forwarder at such a low percent, you can just easily mash a spot dodge through it. So good awareness on LeoN.
And being aware of that Wolf matchup, you were talking about Tri-State Wolves when we brought up Jackal earlier. This is a character that LeoN certainly has some experience against, and LeoN has plenty of experience, or rather ZD has plenty of experience playing this character because he is well known for all of that spacey game. But the experience against the Banjo clearly lacking a little bit because LeoN is on fire and has not stopped. He has been a light for this entire game 1.
Yeah, everything that LeoN is going for is actually working against ZD, catching so many dash-ins with his F-smashes, catching and calling out so many different jumps. Good awareness to be able to toss out that down B before it ended up imploding in his face. Now, all of a sudden, you got a Fox in the corner. That is definitely exactly where you want to be. That is somebody who struggles to get out of disadvantage like none other. But the question is, how does LeoN actually get back down?
Yeah, as Banjo obviously having access to the Wondering is big. You don't have access to any of the toolkit now because he's been wiped off the board. And ZD, if he wants to make a comeback, he'll have to hope for some decent RNG for him, which means bad RNG for LeoN as he goes on to the hero.
I love that situation for ZD. He just sat there, waited, and was able to get the perfect parry timing. You know, usually so difficult to punish any sort of descending aerials, but just having a little bit of plus there is going to be so big. However, that reversal from LeoN can be so huge. Now you're getting ledge trapped by Hero. This is one of the nastiest positions to be in, although LeoN does commit a little bit too much on the thwack, giving ZD plenty of time just to be able to dash back on.
And now LeoN won't be able to leverage any of the neutral Bs because he is out of MP. That Frizzle takes a whole lot. Tries for the thwack again because he knows he's in a big lead, but you have to remember this is ZD's main, and we're down to 1 stock apiece. LeoN, of course, has his Bowser as the anchor too, but it's not quite enough to do it yet with that forwarder. He's going to have to fight a little harder.
Yeah, really nice delay angle from ZD, not going immediately to the ledge, sliding up the wall of PS2 just to be able to mix LeoN a little bit up. That up B is going to send at a nasty angle. It always sends the opposite of wherever Bowser drifts. And that down tilt, nice and active, is going to be able to do it. Typically speaking, you'd see like a down angled F tilt to be able to 2-frame. Down tilt, although does not kill nearly as early, it is Fox. He's at a high enough preset to the point that that's definitely killing. But what is most important is that move is active. Swipe, swipe, and it just covers so much space and so much time.
Well, particularly against a Fox where you only have particular timings at which you can mix up your recovery at a certain point based on the angles. The down tilt, I think, was definitely an excellent choice, and we saw LeoN not struggling against the Fox too much. I mean, that matchup is... It's pretty difficult for Fox because he really likes to thrive off of sending you into tumble as early as possible, and especially against Bowser, that's tough. Normally he likes to do that with the jabs, but that is simply not possible thanks to Tough Guy.
It's not an option. You hit a dash attack, you hit an F tilt, you hit anything. It's all unsafe on hit because Bowser is going to be able to land, and he's going to press his next button a little bit faster than you. So it's really, really difficult to actually find something that is safe on hit. Against Bowser. Typically speaking, you'd go through something like a grab, but then because of, you know, how Ultimate like considers just sort of like a little bit of environmental collision pushing, it can be difficult to get it on somebody with as big of a body and shield as Bowser. Already this pit is seeing a little bit more play, putting on 27%. A bit of a better opening from ZD.
Yeah, it's going to be a really big deal for ZD to get some work done against this Banjo because it did so much work against him. And again, this isn't LeoN's main. This is a character that he is pulling out for the Squad Strike.
Oh, I love that setup. Down air is so quick, so little landing lag. ZD was just able to quickly throw out the next option from that kind of a setup. Doesn't matter if the down air hit. If the down air hit, then congratulations, that's damage. But just going through all of this coverage, ZD still able to make it out. And wow, what a drag down. What a setup.
I love the way that LeoN's Banjo has been playing. I mean, this character has a lot of tools, and people just don't respect it because it's not quite what he thought. May have pulled the trigger on the Wonder Wing to come back a little too early as he finds his way into the Blast Zone. And now ZD getting to play with the lead for the first time in this set.
Yeah, and up throw more than enough to be able to take it, especially with Psych Up on deck. And now just waiting until the last possible second. It takes a little bit of time for Ultimate to process a whole new character and be like, oh god, throw it in, quick, please.
God forbid you played Pokemon Trainer in Squad Strike. Then it'll take, about a year. Couple of really good rolls for LeoN already on this hero, by the way. Saw that Acceleratl, a really big help against Wolf, who normally dominates you with that air drift, right? But when you have Acceleratl, you can match him move for move and normally outpace him. Bounce was obviously very helpful as well, and now LeoN working with a pretty sizable lead.
I really like what LeoN did there with the menu for a second, was able to bait in like a dash attack, thinking that ZD was safe to be able to hit, quickly shielded, and then up B out of shield. Like such a minute interaction like that just really shows how well LeoN knows his distances, knows his threat range, and what a kaboom to be able to take that out. Wow.
And then pulling that Psych Up a little bit late, not one that he had to wait for if you think about it, because that will persist for a single hit and it will be used on that back throw. ZD on the Fox much earlier than we saw last, or rather much later than we saw last time. But LeoN Hero, we have seen it pull some pretty good RNG so far in this game too. We'll see if we can get some more.
Yeah, really nice up throw from ZD, just setting up the best possible situation. You know what Fox does best? He loves juggling. He has so much movement speed, the ability to get up to the skies as fast as he can. But what a catch on the dash out. And I like that ZD didn't try to deflect that.
Yeah, no, it's a perfectly safe move to throw out once you get that bounce against a character with a reflector. But without enough MP, LeoN's Hero is down, and we're looking at a much more even game than we saw in game one as these two 1v1 with their mains once again.
This is evocative of, I still keep coming back to the set, Defend the North, where LeoN took it over light, where basically you just play out of shield against Fox, and what do you actually do against that? You can just up B out of shield time and time again, but you gotta be so careful with your landings, and falling out of up air too, so unfortunate for ZD.
But that hasn't stopped him yet, 93% on LeoN. It's not kill percents, but you as a Fox are at kill percents. The Nair into the back air will send MDVA's finest in ZD down into the losers bracket, and Space Station Gaming will find themselves into winner semis by the hands of LeoN.
And you think you're safe, you're like, oh, I've successfully shielded the aerial. So my question is, did ZD actually end up dropping their shield, or did they end up getting shield poked? Uh-oh, uh-oh.
It looks to me like you dropped your shield to me. Unless you're poking the ear?
That looks like a poke. I gotta say, that definitely looks like a poke.
I want to say it's not a poke because that would just be messed up. That's true. His animation did not change.
Yep,
yeah.
That's the hitbox interacting. That was definitely a shield poke. Man.
What do you do?
You died off of a shield poke at what percent? At what percent was that?
78.
78, you get shield poked by Bowser Neutraler and you die.
That's just great spacing by LeoN though, right? Because you try to drift in too close to the Fox or too far, and maybe you just end up hitting the shield instead of the fuzzy little ear or whatever he hit on.